The Hair Transplant Network is the largest hair restoration community created by patients to help you find the best hair loss treatments and surgeons based on results. What's up guys, Melvin from hairtransplantnetwork.com. Today we're going to be talking about undoing a hair transplant. I'm going to show you guys a case of a guy who came to the Hair Restoration Network 2 days after getting a hair transplant, desperate to undo it. And I'm going to show you guys the outcome of how it looked afterwards. So let's get right into it. All right. So he says, got this done yesterday in a haste from a no-name cheap clinic in India and immediately regretted it as it was not dense and the hairline looks artificial. I'm unable to sleep at night. Is it possible to undo a hair transplant? It was only done yesterday. Please help. Now let's take a look at his photos here. So you can see, all right, so post-op graft placement, you can see looks a bit chunky. The grafts don't look refined. They look a bit sort of like not placed well, very not staggered at all. No macro or micro irregularities in the hairline. Just doesn't look natural, right? From a glance, when you're looking at it like this, just does not look natural. This is what I said. There's no such thing as undoing a hair transplant. You'll be left with scars depending on how deep they inserted the grafts. You may get pitting. Best to stay calm and see how the results pan out. You may be satisfied. Making an impulsive decision got you in this position. Making another impulsive decision can get you even worse. Read this article, and it's an article I linked to the Bernstein Medical, talking about, reversing a hair transplant versus repairing it. All right, so let's look at some of the responses. Let's see what he says. Do you care about saving the hairs, as in moving them back to the donor, or do you just want them removed? Agreed. You'd be better off waiting for the results, then go to a reputable clinic to add more density if needed and modify your hairline enough to meet your expectations. This is what he said. I don't really care about saving my hair. At this point, I just want the hair removed and get my original hairline back. And I'm not going to get another HT ever again. I'm done with this already. So you can see that this guy's having buyer's remorse big time. Didn't do enough research. Now he's realizing, oh my gosh, this may look absolutely terrible. Then I said, it can end up with real bad scarring. You don't want pits in your forehead. So what I mean by this is that when you have grafts inserted, depending on the size of the blades that they create the holes in, when you remove those hairs and it's void, you may have pitting. So you may have a hairline full of these little pits and craters, which doesn't look good. I just got to be honest with you. So let's keep going to see what he looked like. April 29th, he comes back 10 days. And again, the grafts don't look good. The donor looks pretty bad. It's looking pretty rough. And I said, it's hard to judge at this stage. I think it's safe to say the hair transplant isn't going to be refined, and that patch will probably be visibly less dense. But grown out, it could look okay. Only time will tell. August 22nd, 4 months after his hair transplant. Any thoughts, guys? I do use hair fibers on my temples to mask the lack of density not used in the attached pictures. All right, so looking at the pictures, I have to say, it doesn't look that bad. It looks decent for 4 months. It looks what you would expect for 4 months. Here we go, 9 months. He posts January 26th, 9 months later after his hair transplant. And I have to say, his hairline looks okay. Let's close up here. It's definitely not refined. You can see it doesn't look super natural, but a lot better than removing it and having pits everywhere. On the end, let's see what it says. Thanks. Yes, I'm glad I didn't undo it. Revisiting my previous messages in this thread gave me chills. What a dark time it was. I'm super stressed due to hasty transplant, stuck smack bang in the middle of a raging pandemic in India in a completely foreign city and traveling halfway across the world. Looking back, I don't know how I managed that. Thanks for all the support. So why did I want to highlight this case? Well, there's been a lot of guys coming on the forum who read a bad review, didn't do enough research, posted their picture on Reddit or somewhere online and people are telling them you've got a botched procedure, you know, undo this right away. The truth is that nobody, by looking at post-op graft placements, know what it's going to look like when it's grown out. Now, of course, you can tell that, you know, there's no macro irregularity, micro irregularity, grafts aren't placed well, and if you shave it down, it's probably going to look pretty bad. But if you grow it out, there's a possibility that it could look decent enough to pass and decent enough to where you may be satisfied, depending on your goals and objectives. So the reason I made this video is so that anyone who's watching this, who's freaking out, who had a hair transplant without researching, give it time, wait to see how it grows out. And in the event that it doesn't turn out like you wanted it, you can always get a repair by a world-renowned physician. This time you'll be better equipped to make a better decision and research carefully on the Hair Restoration Network. If you happen to find yourself in that situation, I've outlined 3 easy steps to get a repair. Number 1, learn about hair transplants. I have a link in the description box teaching you everything you need to know about hair transplants. Number 2, start consulting with some world-renowned physicians, surgeons that have been vetted by our community and approved based on their results and reviews. And lastly, go to the Hair Restoration Network, talk to real patients, talk to patients who've had a repair, look at threads, look at patients' reviews who have been in the same shoes. That's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys found this video informative, and if you did, do me a favor and hit the like button. And if you think anyone would benefit from this video, please share it with them. All right, till next time.